one more thought. Rule number one, never lose money. Rule number two, never forget rule number one. So says Warren Buffett. Unfortunately, too many of us appear to forget both of Buffett's rules too often. Just this week, Ford lost $1.9 billion on its all-electric three-row SUV when it concluded there wasn't enough consumer interest to make it work.
I talked to Ford CEO Jim Farley, and he said the new mantra is that any new electric vehicle must be profitable within its first year on the market. If they can't do that, it won't be approved. That's why they canceled this electric three-row SUV.
Others are losing money for less auspicious reasons. Former Representative George Santos lost $374,000 this week when he agreed to pay restitution after pleading guilty to charges of wire fraud and identity theft. And if that weren't enough, he'll likely have to do some jail time as well.
It's clear to me now that I allowed ambition to cloud my judgment, leading me to make decisions that were unethical and guilty. Pleading guilty is a step I never imagined I'd take, but it is a necessary one because it is the right thing to do.
Carl Icahn is losing $2 million in fines he owes to the SEC for not disclosing enough about margin loans. But all that's a drop in the bucket of the $19 billion in net worth he's lost in the last 15 months.
Both Icahn and IEP have agreed to pay $1.5 million and $500,000 in civil penalties to settle these charges without admitting or denying the findings. Very interestingly, these go through December of 2018 to the present, and this was 51 to 82% of IEP's outstanding securities as collateral pledged to secure margin loans worth billions.
Many of us find ways to lose money that don't involve getting crosswise of the law. Buying lottery tickets, for example. State lotteries took in over $100 billion last year, which is good for the states, but not necessarily for those buying the tickets. Over a third of that money stayed with the states, which means the rest of us lost about $37 billion on the deal. Betting on sporting events has yet to catch up with the state lotteries, but it's moving up fast, with the American Gaming Association saying about $37 billion was wagered in the first quarter of this year alone, with over $3 billion of that going to those taking the bets.
For the leagues, this is a revenue stream at a key time for them because we're seeing that media rights. There's a lot of tumult, a lot of disruption, especially at the team level. So I think bringing in the gambling money to supplement that has been something that they've really leaned on.
Recently, sports has given us another way to separate us from our money. It's the purchase of name, image, and likeness of our favorite college football star. And as if betting on sports weren't enough, the football program at Oklahoma State University has found a way to make it easier for us to spend our money on those NILs. They now put QR codes on their players' helmets, so you can use your smartphone when you're watching on TV and purchase the NIL for your favorite player without having to go find it. Of course, it's not only about losing money. There's always the enjoyment you get from just being in the game, even if most of the money ends up going to the house. I'm no gambler, but I did have one great evening in Las Vegas when I spent a couple of hours at the craps table and actually ended up a little bit ahead of the game. But then again, I had the smartest, funniest, and best tutor there ever was, Nora Ephron, who taught me how to calculate the odds of the dice coming up on any particular number, and then how to use the odds to place my pass versus don't pass and come versus don't come bets, which actually worked, at least when she was with me.